Kismet. Have you heard of it? No, we're not here to celebrate Valentine's Day in advance. Today, 12th February, marks the Sexual and Reproductive Health Awareness Day, and on this occasion, I, Dr. Jyoti Amin from the Nutrition Society of India, Mumbai Chapter, will take you through a journey where foods fuel fertility. Let's begin with kisspeptin. Kisspeptin is a recently discovered neuropeptide. In simple words, say an important molecule that affects the fine balance that exists between our brain and our reproductive organs. Research shows that eating a high-fat diet leads to early puberty in children, mediated by this kisspeptin and other important molecules. If nutrition influences the start, that is the age of puberty, it definitely plays a bigger role in the end of a woman's reproductive lifespan. Menopause. A high consumption of vegetable protein every day from soya, peas, beans, lentils decreases the risk of an early menopause. Eating soya helps to decrease menopausal symptoms such as hot flushes, night sweats, and while having diets high in fat and sugar increases the risk of these ugly symptoms. If nutrition affects the beginning and the end of reproduction, you can be dead sure that it affects the most iconic phase, the middle years, where we procreate or produce children. It's high time we think beyond food aphrodisiacs and chocolate-coated strawberries. In India, the treasure house of Ayurveda, the traditional practice of using special foods to influence the reproductive health still runs in various communities with a folkloric belief. It has always existed in India. Our grandmothers were blessed with this knowledge handed down generations. It's a pity we have forgotten it. Research indicates that female and male preconceptual nutritional status, that means what you eat before you conceive, influences fertility. It can affect the sperm quality in men, the egg maturity in women, and the efficiency of implantation. That means how well an embryo sticks to the wall of the uterus. Wrong eating habits can affect reproduction as early as that. A well balanced diet seems to play a beneficial role in the prevention of infertility in both sexes. Several lifestyle factors such as smoking, alcohol adversely affect conception, and if by God's grace you conceive with all that smoking and alcohol, then be ready for a terrible pregnancy outcome. Smoking can cause a decrease in the number of eggs and sperm motility, delayed conception, and even miscarriages. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you love your sperm and eggs, I suggest you stop smoking first. Infertility is one of the most common challenges that couples encounter today, and assisted reproductive technologies, or ART, is a common choice of treatment. Drawing a parallel with infertility, the term childlessness, a social stigma in our society, is defined as a woman who's currently married for more than 5 years, currently not pregnant, not having terminated a pregnancy, never having used a contraceptive, or having no living children, and blah 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 blah. I wonder where all the men went in this definition. It appears that a man donates more than just a sperm. They contribute to infertility as well. We just haven't given them enough credit for it to date. It is estimated that infertility affects 8 to 12% of the couples globally. Male infertility is a primary and contributing cause in approximately 50% of the couples. And guess what? Enough research evidence proves that foods affect male fertility too. Studies show that maintaining an ideal body mass may be effective in preventing infertility in both men and women. Being underweight with a deficient nutrient intake results in delayed puberty, menstrual problems, longer time to conception, and increased infertility. Being obsessed with a size zero definitely doesn't help infertility, but being overweight or obese is much worse. Obesity in males impairs reproductivity by affecting the structure of the sperm, and weight loss improves male fertility. Overweight women with infertility tend to take longer time to conceive. They have lower conception rates, higher failure rates in ART. When obese people become pregnant, remember, they are at a higher risk of miscarriages, gestational diabetes, hypertension, and premature births. But here's the heartening news. A patient's weight is one modifiable or changeable contributor to infertility. So before you pay a bomb for ART, please get your weight right, get your body mass right. Research across the globe demonstrates that in males, a healthy dietary pattern rich in antioxidants, meaning more of fruits, green vegetables, fish, whole grains, low-fat dairy products, and less of meat, processed foods, sweets, and sweetened beverages, and high-fat products positively affects the quality of the semen. Similarly, in females, eating less fruit and more fast food in preconception meant taking a longer time to conceive. It's important to have adequacy of all minerals and vitamins, but a special mention for folate, which plays a very important role in sperm production, fetal development, and it also aids in higher success rates in ART. Deficiency of folate causes early miscarriage, premature birth, and very severe damage in the brain and spinal cord development of the baby. Folate is present in most foods such as legumes, peas, beans, nuts, broccoli, cauliflower, green leafy vegetables like spinach, fruits, liver, milk, and fermented dairy products. But because of low intake and to avoid the gruesome deficiency outcome, folate supplementation is given during pregnancy by the advice of a nutritionist, a dietitian, or a doctor only. Studies show that reducing the intakes of refined carbohydrates and the higher intakes of whole grains such as wheat, barley, oats, buckwheat, commonly called as kuttu, brown rice, amaranth, or what we call rajgira, and their respective flour atta, is sensible for women attempting to become pregnant, as it may also improve fertility. Saturated fats, and more importantly, trans fats, those bad fats found in the bakery products, sweets, crisps, fast foods, dry foods, snacks made with shortening, margarine, or hydrogenated oils, pose a greater risk of ovulatory infertility in women and decreased sperm count in men. On the other hand, a diet high in omega-3 fatty acids, the good fats, and low in trans fatty acids not only improve sperm quality in men, but also showed a shorter time to pregnancy and a positive outcome in ART treatment in women. The unfortunate reality today is that foods are not only vehicles for nutrients but contaminants as well, either naturally from the environment or artificially introduced during processing, packaging, and storage of food. Well-known examples include mercury in fish, pesticide residue in produce, the growth hormones and antibiotics in meat. Fish are one of the best sources of omega-3 fatty acids, but here's the catch. Contaminated fish, or rather the mercury in it, is associated with impaired male fertility, decreased sperm production, sperm count, sperm motility, and lower testicular weight. One can argue and say that the benefit of omega-3 from fish can outweigh the risk. But listen to this. An eye-opening study on commonly consumed fish such as pomfret, kingfish, surmai, mackerel, bangda, and the Indian salmon, ravas, and brown prawns sourced in 4 docks in the city of Mumbai showed that the concentration of mercury exceeded the daily permissible limits. So beware of this and don't go blindly overboard on fish if you're planning a baby. I'd say eat it if you like, but use your head before you use your tongue. Vegetarians, you need not fret. You don't need to eat fish to produce children. And trust me on that one. Let me just remind you that more than half of India is vegetarian, and we still hold the record for the second highest population in the world. That explains it. Sperm and semen quality can also be improved by eating healthy foods such as walnuts. At this point, I'd like to introduce you to a term, phytoestrogens. As the name suggests, phyto meaning from plants. Estrogen here is something that mimics estrogen in our body. So these are naturally occurring plant compounds that look structurally or behave functionally similar to estrogen in our body. There are various types found in nuts, seeds, fruits, vegetables, and most abundantly in soybeans and flax seeds. Besides improving menopausal symptoms, these phytoestrogens have a plethora of health benefits. They are antioxidants, cardioprotective, antimutagenic, and anti-cancerous. Spoiler alert, do you want to know how they were discovered? In the 1940s, when Australian sheep were grazing on pastures with clover leaves rich in a certain phytoestrogen, it was seen that these sheep developed a widespread infertility, which was traced back to the effect of these phytoestrogens. Recall, I said they mimic estrogen. That means they can have a hormonal effect. Moderation here is the key. Do not overdo soya, flaxseed, or any food for that matter with the belief of a miraculous cure. Always, and I re-emphasize, always aim for a balanced diet, including a variety of fruits, vegetables, legumes, cereals, nuts, and dairy. Remember, this Valentine, instead of giving chocolate-coated strawberries to your partner, maybe eat some yourself without the chocolate, as your partner may or may not be there with you. But your dietary habits, right or wrong, whatever you choose, for better, for worse, in sickness, in health, will stay with you forever till death do you part. And I promise you that. Thank you.